Welcome to our Palantir Revolution, otherwise known as our earnings call. There really is a lot of debate about with these numbers if you even should have an earnings call. There was also a lot of debate around which number is the best internally. We were undecided whether our 29% growth in aggregate, our 38% growth in the U.S., our 54% growth in U.S. commercial, our rule of 81.
Palantir's earnings call sparked major debate. Here's what you need to know. Check this out.
They may have to redo the rule because, when you're doing twice the rule, of course, maybe the rule isn't fair to other companies. We may have to have a different rule, the rule of 70 or something. But we blew through that over twice the rule of 40. To say we did it our way is a minimization of what that meant. We have taken a long bet over decades around the assumption that if we built the products that our partners, most importantly our partners in the West, most importantly our partners in the U.S., ought to build, not what they wanted us to build, not what they mandated we should build, not what investors, venture capitalists, or analysts were saying they would reward us for building, that company would generate so much value that we would get a small percentage of that and we would end up as a massive, significant, and much more importantly, impactful company that could power the West to its obvious innate superiority, expose things that weren't working, rebuild the whole infrastructure of a company. We did that over with many platforms. Most successfully, however, was our interest in figuring out how to power human-driven analytics with the assumption that what ought to come would not be human-driven, i.e. would be AI at some point, and that AI potentially could be something like a large language model. And what we've delivered to the market is a symbiotic relationship between data, computer, LLMs, organized, powered, made possible, made valuable by something we dared to call an ontology, which was in the beginning viewed as a highly obnoxious, anticlimactic term that people thought we were using to obfuscate bad financials.
Palantir built what ought to exist, not what was easy or expected. That's the core difference. But ask yourself, how many companies have the conviction to ignore short-term pressures and still emerge stronger? This is why Palantir isn't just another tech company. It's shaping the infrastructure of the future.
And that ontology and our willingness to stick to our guns, again, because there's been billions and billions and billions of dollars invested in large language models, the idea that you could dare to build a product that was built on the assumption that the power of large language models would be in their the ability to operationalize them in the context of the enterprise in common language. So that was a revolution that we saw, that we built against, that we've led, that we've gotten off the ground. For us in America, we have 54% growth in U.S. comm. By the way, USG is now re-accelerated. It grew 30%. We are guiding above 30% at 31%. And we're doing this in a very, very complicated environment. The part of the reason we've done so well is the experts look to the past as an indication of the future when we're looking to the future as an indication of the present. And it's very, very hard to figure out what's going to happen. We see, as much as I personally care about the broader West, including continental Europe, despite our best efforts and working at it every day, it's anemic. We're growing around 4% on 13% of our company. It does look like the continent of Europe will look to the past as a way of getting to the future, struggles with the idea that all the valuable technology in this area is built in America, perhaps struggles with the fact that to make LLMs work, you have to find a way to build something like an ontology. There's one available at Palantir. We have rejected all the way through anti-meritocratic concepts, anti-transparent concepts. We're at the forefront of civil liberties.
Palantir's edge isn't just its technology. It's the mindset of anticipating change rather than reacting to it. While others debate AI's role, Palantir has already embedded it into enterprise operations. That's the difference between adaptation and leadership.
One of the reasons ontology is so valuable is because the concepts that we built into PG, that we built into Foundry, that are expressed in branching, are concepts that both accelerate revenue, get and decelerate, control CapEx, i.e. make the margins something like what you would find at Palantir. but do it in a way that actually make the enterprise better, healthier, more ethical. We, at the end of the day, at Palantir, are exporting our culture and way of doing things to enterprises, especially in America, by allowing enterprises to capture their tribal knowledge in a way that they can utilize LLMs, i.e. take the commodity side of LLMs and hypercharge their secrets of their enterprise using the secrets of our enterprise, namely, how do you build product, how do you end up with ontology, how do you implement it? And last not least, we believe we are making America more lethal, making our adversaries increasingly afraid of acting against the interests of America and especially Americans. And we're proud of our moral stance, and we are very long on the U.S. and what's happening and what will happen in the future. And with that, we should open up our earnings call. But this is obviously a very, very special time to be at Palantir. Palantirians and are very excited, and I am. Yeah, it's by far the best time to be a Palantir. One of the things that's crazy important about our time Palantir now is it's actually the vibe internally, the vibe with our clients, the vibe inside of our products is we are at the way beginning of our trajectory. We are at the way beginning of revolution, and we plan to be a cornerstone, if not the cornerstone company in driving this revolution in the U.S. over the next 3 to 5 years.
With a long-term bet on America's technological supremacy, Palantir isn't just riding the AI wave, it's steering it. The combination of high-margin efficiency, national security reinforcement, and enterprise intelligence integration makes one thing clear. Palantir is playing the long game, and it's winning. Palantir isn't just another AI company. It's redefining how enterprises, governments, and entire industries harness intelligence. The Rule of 40? Palantir blew past it. Conventional AI deployment? They're not just integrating LLMs, they're operationalizing them in ways no one else dared to. While others build models, Palantir builds infrastructure that makes those models useful in real-world decision-making. Their long-term bet wasn't just on AI, but on how AI and human-driven analytics must work together. Ontology, once dismissed as corporate jargon, has proven to be the key to unlocking enterprise-wide intelligence. The ability to capture tribal knowledge and refine it through specialized AI models is what sets Palantir apart. It's not just about efficiency, it's about creating an ecosystem where organizations become more effective, adaptable, and even more ethical. And then there's the geopolitical aspect. Palantir isn't shy about its stance. It's betting on American strength and making adversaries think twice before acting. The U.S. market growth speaks for itself, while Europe lags, stuck in outdated frameworks. The contrast is stark. One side embraces AI-powered transformation, the other resists it. But here's the most important part. This is just the beginning. Internally, Palantir sees itself at the start of a revolution, not the peak. The next 3 to 5 years will be pivotal, and if they continue on this trajectory, Palantir won't just be a leader in AI deployment, it will be the cornerstone company shaping how AI is used in both business and national security. The market is catching up to what Palantir has seen all along. The future isn't just about AI, it's about how you wield it, and right now, no one does that better than Palantir.